everybody. Welcome to our second Warrior Babe interview with our veteran Warrior Babe, Denise. Denise has been a Warrior Babe for just about 13 months now, right?
No, not even. I think I'm just at the beginning. This is my first week of month 9.
Month 9, but okay, how about comparison to the Revolution and the VIP programs?
Oh, adding Revolution? Okay, yeah, probably.
About like 13 months, a little over a year. And in her journey with the VIP, you've dropped 25 pounds in the 7-9 month range.
Yeah, 8 months because we're just starting 9. Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome.
And
awesome.
To be honest, speaking for the whole VIP group right now, we didn't even recognize you on that like 2 Q&As ago.
That's what they were saying. Well, the haircut's part of it.
And your face, your everything. You've made incredible changes with your entire body from a coach's standpoint. I know that Madeline and I, we see it as a blessing working with you because you literally just take the macro numbers and the workouts and you just do the work.
Do it. Yeah.
No questions asked.
Nobody else can do it for me, right? I have to do it. So
yeah, exactly.
It's done.
Yeah. So everybody, welcome Denise here. She's here to share some pointers for you, babe, so that you can adopt some of her strategies, some of her mindset strategies, some of her techniques into your own journey here moving forward. So welcome, Denise. I'm excited to have you here.
Thanks.
Yeah. Yeah, likewise. So let's kick it right off. So tell us your story and how you got to where you are right now.
Well, I brought a picture.
Yay!
This is a little over 10 years ago. Hopefully you can see it and tell me.
Yes.
This was me. We were on a vacation out west. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
It was a little over 10 years ago, and that was kind of my defining aha moment. Couldn't keep up with anybody. I mean, I was over 210 in that picture. And that's when I saw that picture, I said, that's it. I'm done. I couldn't even walk up a flight of stairs without really taking deep breaths. I'm not going to become victim to my family's genetics. So that's it. I'm done. So over these years, it's been some up and down. I started on my own, and it was really more in the summers because for whatever reason, I felt I didn't have time during the school year when I was working, and I did. It was my excuse. So after a couple years up and down there, I hired a trainer. I said, I'm done. I was with my trainer for 6.5 years, roughly, before he left the business. Couple injuries in there that slowed me down with hip surgery. So that kind of slowed me down for a good year. Soon as I got going after that, rupture a ligament in the thumb. So then that slowed down the upper body. But once he left, I kind of didn't know where to go. I didn't want to be with the other trainers there because they weren't going to be hard enough for me. Mm-hmm. They closed up shop. So I went on my own, and within those 2 years before leaving there and joining Revolution, the workouts were great. I wrote my own. My son, who's a trainer, would help me write workouts. But nutrition was, that's it, gone. And I just put all that weight back on. I didn't get quite back to that, but I was getting real close. And that's when I gave in, joined Revolution. And, 6 months after that, I said, we're going deep. Let's do VIP. And here I am. I can't be happier.
Yeah. Your awesome. Transformation is insane. It's incredible.
I got more to go too. So pretty soon I'm going to have arms like you.
Let's go. You are on your way. You're on the Q&As. You can see the shoulders starting to really take.
Yeah. Every once in a while, depending on how my arm is.
Yeah. Take shape. Yeah. Awesome, babe. You're an inspiration to not only myself, but everybody that's inside the program. It's incredible what you've done and incredible where you came from and where you are right now. Yeah. Now diving into, what we're all experiencing right now, especially you, since you're in New York, you're experiencing it heavy up there with the COVID situation. Before I dive into the next question I have for you, I wanted you to share what your coworker said to you when you had to go back to the school.
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, we went back to school. a group of us were there collecting books. We had the kids drive up, hand us books, and yada, yada, yada. And it was a 90-degree day, and I'm standing out front. So I'm in just shorts and a tank top because, it was hot.
Yeah.
And a coworker walked by me, and she's like, "Holy crap, you look amazing." And I'm like, "Great, thank you." And as she continued walking by me, she said to someone else, she's like, "Oh my God, I want to look like that." So it was, she didn't know I heard that, but it was awesome.
So incredible. This quarantine has done you real well.
Yeah, quarantine's been good for me, actually.
Yeah, so I want to dive into that. How are you handling it with your goals?
Well, as you say, I've continued to drop during quarantine. It's just kept me in a routine. My husband was only home for a couple weeks. So that kind of got the routine kind of weird because he was using my workout space for his workspace. I'm like, get the hell back to work. But once he got back to work, I really got in my routine. I get up, me and the cats, and I just do my thing. My foods are already in the refrigerator, so I don't even have the temptation to go after something else because every afternoon, use that time, boom, 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 got all my meals made. They're in the fridge for the next day. Yeah, it's just been keeping me on a routine. Can't go anywhere, can't do anything, so.
You gotta stay. So you're in control of what you got at home, right? Your nutrition, your workouts. You're in control of that. With everything that's going on, you can't really control that stuff, but you can control the things that you want to do for yourself.
There's even 10 boxes of Girl Scout cookies in my house that I still have not touched.
You rock.
Now.
You rock.
I put them in the freezer and I just left them there. Out of state, I don't see them. Out of sight, out of mind. So they're there, but
that's awesome. That's awesome. Love that discipline. I'm going to dive in a couple minutes how you have everything prepared. Like you said your food's in your fridge, it's already done, it's there, it's not even a thought, you just go and grab it. So we'll dive into that in a second. But right now, how do you find the accountability to stay on track?
Well, after doing this for so many years, when I had my trainer, they kept me accountable for my food. Even though they were kind of forcing me to eat food, I don't want to say forcing me, they were feeding me, but they were really trying to teach you to eat foods that are, whole foods, healthy foods, clean foods, and that's great. But they really wanted me to eat foods I really don't like. So having this, just knowing that I can eat foods I like and still stay within those macros has just kept me in a better mindset, that it's not like I don't need to go and cheat, because I really was gagging food down before to the point that I don't want to eat it, so I wouldn't eat it all. So obviously not eating it all is just as bad as eating all the crap food. So now I've just got, because I'm eating foods I like, I'm just keeping myself accountable, And I have you guys looking at it, so that helps. It's part of the reason I did this.
Yeah, that's right. We see everything.
No, it's just been keeping me on track. I don't know. I've been good. Just keeping true to myself.
Yeah, that's awesome. And kind of stemming off of what you said with you find it a lot easier to be enjoying the foods that you get to enjoy. What can you share the little light on, like what kind of experience you did when you saw with working with other trainers? Like, did you feel restricted, or did you just, or was it that you just felt like you couldn't veer off?
It was kind of both. I felt some restriction because, they're like, don't be eating the burgers because I don't want you to have any buns. You need to cut down on the carbs. Okay, I get it. No, let's cut down on the dairy, too much sugar. They really were restricting me things that I do like and trying to get me to, I'm not a vegetable person. Come on, you need that broccoli, you need the cauliflower. No matter how I doctor it up, I was gagging it down. So I just wasn't eating. So when it would come time for an assessment once every 4 or 6 weeks, not every time, but there were times where I'd be like, I know I ate bad, so I'm just going to fast for a day before an assessment, stuff like that. So it's just, I was trying to play with the system instead of just doing it the right way, because I was feeling restricted with the foods that they want you to eat.
Yeah. Wow. So how do you feel like, what kind of, like, okay, share a little bit about like that nutrition plan you were following. Was it macros? Or was it just like eat this?
It was more we found that, playing with different things with me, I love oatmeal, but oatmeal doesn't love me. So we tried playing with a couple different plans, and I would say mostly I was eating more of a paleo type of plan. It wasn't macros the way you teach macros. And they would say, well, let's have you eat, 1,500 calories a day. But we didn't really break it down into macros. It was like, let's just do this many calories, but eat a paleo style. And it worked. But we've also found my body adjusts fairly quickly to a lot of changes I make. So it'll work for a few weeks, and then boom, I would just, plateau and be like that for weeks. So my body, it's always a lot of tweaking, but they were tweaking more in that sort of way as opposed to using the macros. The only time we really got macros, every once in a while, they'd offer these, all right, you're already a client, but okay, so all these clients, we're going to offer you a new program, and let's do this 8-week thing, and we'll have a group of 10 of you do it. And that's when we get more restrictive with specific macros. Other than that, it was more the paleo plan for me.
Gotcha. And would you say that in that what you were following before WarriorBabe, are you eating more food now than you were with other programs?
Yeah, only because even though, like, let's say calorie wise, I'm kind of eating the same amount of calories, but eating the other way, I was being very restrictive. And again, I was trying to eat foods I didn't like, so I would stop eating. So my numbers were supposed to be the same in terms of calories, not macros, but I wasn't really eating it because I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So I definitely eat more now, and I'm doing 5 meals a day instead of 6, just because the way my numbers are, it's easier to fit them in 5. I definitely eat more now, much more regular foods I like.
Yeah. How do you deal with the psychology of eating more food in order to get to the kind of goals that you're getting to right now?
It's surprising. You wouldn't think you want to eat all that food. Yeah, I mean, I love it. It surprises me that I can eat that much and still be hungry. Not that I always am hungry, but I'll have days, the past couple of days, I've actually been hungry, and I'm eating the same things I have been. So I have up and down days with that. Some days I just don't even want to eat, but I'll force myself to eat it because I know I need to.
Yeah.
But it's surprising. You wouldn't think that you can eat this much food and continue to lose. Yeah, it's crazy.
It is, isn't it?
Yes.
From what we've all kind of, especially you guys, you've grown up thinking that eating less is the way to lose the weight.
Yeah.
And then you come into WarriorBabe and we're like, no, you got to eat 15, 16, 17, 1,800 calories. And, then you start dropping the weight and you're just like your whole belief system just gets thrown out the door.
Yeah, when we're actually in school and people see, I have a little refrigerator under my desk, and I bring my food every day and shove it in there. And people will come in and out of my classroom and they're like, are you still eating? I'm like, yeah, they all.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So yeah, you're a teacher. So can you share a little bit insight on, because there's other, women who have, me being a nurse, we were in the emergency room, or there's other women that have a very focused job where it's hard for them to veer off to eat a meal. So how do you go about your day in the work field with eating your meals when you were working in?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have to admit, it's probably a little bit easier for me because I have my little refrigerator in my room. A lot of teachers don't have that, and they bring their food and keep it in the teachers' lounges. We have a bunch of different ones because all the different departments have their own little areas. So some of the teachers, don't have the ability to run in there and go get their food, whereas I have my refrigerator and I'll just grab it. The kids will be working. I don't care. I'm just going to sit there and eat in front of them.
Yeah.
Kids eat in front of us. So, I mean, that's what I do. Other teachers, I can understand it's a little harder for them, but if they were to plan it out and just say, oh, I know I'm going to be in class, let me bring this with me. It can be done.
Yeah. 100. That's simple as that. It can be done.
Got to make it work.
Yeah. So there's a lot of babes struggle with hitting their macros or planning ahead. So kind of touching base on what you said with your routine during this time that we're all facing and how you plan ahead and bring all your stuff to your work space. what are some pointers that you can provide those babes who struggle with hitting their macros or planning ahead?
Well, I mean, I prep constantly. I don't want to say it's just every weekend, because like I just made my potatoes for next week. I just finished doing that. So I'll use a couple days a week. I actually plan a week at a time. I mean, everyone's different. You got to find what works for you. But like one night a week, as I'm chilling out watching TV, I'm going to be on MyFitnessPal. I have 3 meals that are pretty much staples that I don't change. My pre-workout, my post-workout, and then I have another meal that is just kind of like my comfort. It's yogurt and berries and almond butter that I'll have. Now it's at night. It used to be during school. I used to have it in the morning. But so those 3 always stay the same.
Mm-hmm.
I always plug them into MyFitnessPal first and then work around that and to make my numbers work. You know, I find whatever lean protein and what other carbs I need to fit. Everyone's different.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard, you know, you got to find just something that works for you. I also keep things very simple and eat a lot of the same foods.
Mm-hmm.
When I was trying to be creative and eat lots of different things, it just didn't work.
Mm-hmm.
It's so, you got to keep it simple.
You do, right? Because especially when you're learning the macro side of things, it can be a little overwhelming at first to start off, and you're like, oh my gosh, how do I fit in protein, fats, and carbs and get it within plus or minus 5? And it's like, but when you just figure out, like if you just sit in there for like, you know, a couple hours and play around while you're watching TV, like you're saying, that's what you did.
I definitely find if any newbies, you know, are really trying to get used to it, and do your pre and post first, because you really want to make sure those numbers are where they should be, and then kind of leave them and then play with everything else afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a really good starting point.
Yeah. Do you find it fun playing around with those numbers in MyFitnessPal? I'm always like, I know this can just come down in quantities and this can go up.
My husband's like, seriously, that one little extra ounce? I'm like, yeah, it makes a difference.
It does make a difference. It does.
Yeah, I do have fun with it. It's funny.
Yeah, that's awesome.
If
But I
add a little cream, you know, I'll find the tiniest little things that whatever will fit.
Yes, exactly. That was me last night trying to fit in my last like 6 carbs. I'm like, how am I going to maneuver this one?
Yep.
But it's fun.
My husband looks at my food sometimes. He's like, seriously, you're having that? I'm like, hey, it all fits in. I don't care what the combo is.
Yeah. Do you eat more than your husband eats? Side note.
Side topic.
Definitely.
Yeah. And I'm not a big eater, but I definitely eat more. He's tried a couple times where he'll go and buy some plan from somebody, and he was really good for about a month, but it was exactly the same foods. He's like, I can't do this. I'm like, I've been trying to help you. I make extra food and I'll throw it in the freezer for him. And he's like, yeah, but then I got to heat it up when I get home and blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
That's awesome. Yeah. So the pointers are great because in terms of just planning ahead, it's to eliminate the thought processes mentally of like, what am I going to eat? It's just so much easier to be eating the same exact thing for like, and like you said, having your staple meals and just being able to fit in some other things that you're kind of craving.
And I just every afternoon put them all together, throw them in the fridge, and then you just grab. It's not like I have all the pieces in the fridge and I have to put it together. I literally put each meal together, just grab it.
Yeah. So that's your routine now, like especially being at home. That's how you just plan everything the day before, and then it's in there in the fridge and you can just walk in and pull it out.
And even when school was in though, I would still do that same thing, put everything together. So the next morning, get up, grab my, cooler, boom, 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 pop them all in there that I need during the work hours. Yeah. It just keeps you on track. It keeps you accountable. And instead of, well, maybe I want to mix this up, and nah.
Yeah.
As long as it's together, I'm not going to change it.
Yeah. Awesome. And then do you feel like when you're at school, you don't really have the temptations to want to veer off track? You've got your meals in place.
It's huge, especially when they have all those bake sales and all those things that aren't going to happen anymore. But
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely kept me from temptation.
Awesome. So what's some advice that you could give somebody who is just starting their fitness journey?
You definitely need to ask questions. Yeah. Start coming out of your shell. I'm the quiet one of the group.
You are, you are.
Just how I am, but I take it all in, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta be willing to ask questions. Even if you are quiet like me and you don't want to speak up in a group, message your coach. They will get back to you. Ask the questions. Don't sit there going, oh, I wish I asked this. I wish I asked that, because you're not going to get the answers unless you ask. Somebody else may or may not ask that, but, you know, and join into the Zoom meetings. It took me a couple weeks to really get going, but, you know, there's just so much information and we're all there for each other.
Yeah.
You know, you don't feel like you're alone, because you're not.
Yeah.
You know, even if you don't have the outside support at home, you've at least got the support of the group. And it's huge.
100%. That goes to VIP, to Blueprint, to the
Absolutely.
Revolution, a
Yeah.
2-day access to the Q&As and all of the groups. And I always say, never assume that you know the answer, because then you kind of get lost in like, well, it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, or you're hashing up old belief systems that could be answering your question for you.
Yeah.
When you could just answer it and then have clarity
Absolutely.
by me or the coaches or anybody who's in the WarriorBabe.
Yeah. Anyone else? Some of us might just jump in and answer a question. It doesn't necessarily have to be you guys.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
And I know some of them even talk to each other outside of the Zoom meetings, you know?
Mm-hmm.
You have that too. We're all here for each other, and it's huge. You need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus, if I always like when I get questions, I'm like, they're in it. They want to do it.
Yes.
And because when somebody's asking a bunch of questions, like, what about this? And what about this? And why this? And that means that they're like focused and they want to do it the right way. Whereas like people that don't ask questions, I'm kind of like, you know, I don't feel like they're as in it as I feel like they would be if they're asking tons of questions. So I love questions. And that is a great starter point to anybody that's listening, is just ask questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, everyone's going to find their own thing and what works for them too. And I mean, I even keep a little journal where I'll actually have my workouts written out. They're not just in the app, and I know they're in the app, but what if the app crashes? I've got them written down in a little journal, so I know exactly what I did each week. Even if I have to write a note to myself, it's something that I might not be able to put in the app. Because I'm at home, I can't, you know, I have bands. I can't say, oh, I put green band in the app, so I can write notes to myself. And, you know, that's something else that works for me too. I don't know how many other people may or may not do that.
Yeah.
You got to find what really works for you. But asking questions and just joining in, it's huge. And don't be afraid to make a mistake. You know, you make a mistake. I've made mistakes. I could have my meals planned, but then all of a sudden we're at a friend's house and I don't have my food with me. All right, I'm going to screw up for the day.
Yeah.
You just jump back on the next day. You can't let it get to you. You can't dwell on it. Boom, new day. It's over and done, and just keep looking forward.
Yes. So many people need to hear that, Denise. Yes. It's like, you know, a lot of people, they mess up and then they allow it to fall into the next day and they're like, okay, Monday, I'm going to just start fresh.
Yeah. No.
You have the ability to start the next day fresh.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's awesome. Awesome, babe. So what does it mean? What does being a WarriorBabe mean to you?
Being a WarriorBabe to me is that, well, I've come full circle. I know where I want to be and I know what I have to do to get there. And WarriorBabe allows you to use your weaknesses to make you stronger. You know, it really teaches you that you don't give a crap what other people are thinking. You know, yeah, if you're at the gym, don't worry about other people watching. Maybe they're trying to learn from you, because I know I've had that happen to me. You know, so I don't care what other people think. It's just taught me more about myself, you know, and it's given me insight on who I truly am. It's just amazing. You know, I want to be that strong, healthy person. And it's nice to have that group out there and that community to help me get through it, because we're all going through it.
Yeah.
So we're all here to help each other and push each other and just learn from your weaknesses, learn from your mistakes. And it's just, I don't know, it's defining me at this point, you know, just working out as part of who I am. And I don't let other people say, you know, I don't understand why you're doing this and you're not eating right. And I'm like, no, this is me. This is who I am, and I'm proud to be part of it. I think it's awesome.
That's amazing. You just gave me the chills. That's awesome.
I mean, it's been over 10 years and I've never had this kind of progress so quickly. I'm just thrilled to death. I'm happy to be here, and I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, baby.
It's been over 25 years since I've been at this weight. You know, it's fantastic.
That's incredible. Incredible. Well, you definitely are a warrior babe through and through, 100%. You put in the work, you have discipline, you have just a no BS. I'm just going to do it. No excuses. Yeah. It can get done.
Absolutely.
And, that is a warrior babe. You are a warrior babe. I love it.
Great. Yeah.
I love it.
Waiting for that swag.
Yeah. Yes, it's coming. It's coming. Awesome, babe. So to close off this interview, I just want to ask, and I'm sure that people could use this into their macro plan and just hear what your favorite snack is. What's your favorite macro combo or favorite snack that you love to enjoy?
My favorite snack it's my yogurt with my berries and my almond butter. And I have to say, I've tried the all-American butters in it. I've tried cookie butter in it. Just plain old almond butter to me. Almond butter with some berries, yogurt, that's it. It's just it's a comfort food. It's not too filling. It's refreshing.
Yeah.
That's my favorite combo right now.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. And how about your favorite muscle group to be trained?
Well, before my hip injury, I would have said legs. I loved working legs.
God bless you.
I mean, I love squatting. I can hardly squat any weight anymore. I'd say arms and shoulders at this point.
Yeah.
Seems to be the best that I can do without injuring myself. And yeah. Awesome. Yesterday's arm workout was awesome. I was actually ready to type in there, you guys are slowing me down. I was kind of staying ahead of you.
I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Oh, that's great. Yeah. All right. Well, Denise, it's been a pleasure hanging out with you here. And for all of you who want to learn more about the programs that WarriorBabe offers and how to get started, go to www.warriorbabe.com and become a part of thousands of women. As you're hearing Denise, the community, is amazing. We're all focusing on getting toned and becoming stronger, more confident versions of ourselves.
Yeah, you won't regret it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Nice. Thank you, babe. Thank you for your time here. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.